How's it going, guys, and welcome to another video here today where we are going to be moving back from the gaming world to the movie world and the issue with sequels. Basically, guys, a summary of movies that are going simply too far. If you can hear rummaging in the background, it's actually my cat behind the sofa. I don't know what she's doing, but she's interrupting my video. That's one thing she is doing. So yes, apologies if you can hear a cat behind the sofa. She knows when to, she knows. So yes, guys, of course we are talking today about sequels and modern movie franchises making sequel after sequel after sequel. And unfortunately, guys, I've got one simple view on this, and that is that they are money-grabbing, nostalgia-driven imbeciles. Gone are the days where you could be excited about a sequel coming out or potentially expect something great from a movie. Unfortunately, today we don't have that. It always feels like we are getting uninspired movie after uninspired movie. Now, I've got a few examples, guys, of movies, in my opinion, that have ran their course a long time ago, but they still continue to make them. Yes, we love Indiana Jones, or at least, a lot of people like Indiana Jones. But do they really want to see Harrison Ford come back, an 81-year-old man, for follow-up movies? The fact is, Harrison Ford is too old to be doing these things and should not have been cast again for another Indiana Jones movie. And of course, they will argue you can't have an Indiana Jones movie without Harrison Ford because he is Indiana Jones. There's a simple answer to that. Don't make another movie. It basically comes down to the fact that Harrison Ford is too old, but they're bringing him back to for nostalgia. It's all nostalgia. And of course, we've got Fast X, the latest in the Fast and the Furious franchise. Fast X. I mean, really? Fast X? How many do you want to make of this movie? But they're all doing it. Final Destination, overdone. Terminator, overdone. The Saw franchise, overdone. Basically, guys, we're getting too many sequels. We're getting too many movies now of franchises, like I've just mentioned, Terminator, Fast and the Furious, Final Destination, the Saw franchise. Have you ever sat and watched Jurassic World? You probably have. I've watched Jurassic World. In Jurassic World Dominion, this is another point that I'm making as well. All this nostalgia baiting, the fact that they're just kind of enticing the audience with nostalgia. In Jurassic World Dominion, we've got Dr. Grant Malcolm and Ellie Sadler back in it. I don't want to see them. I loved them in Jurassic Park, the original. I don't want to see them now. I don't care for them. They're past it. And what I mentioned with Jurassic World Dominion, I'll never get it. They do it in so many films. They bring back old characters, old beloved characters that you used to worship and put them in these new films, these new sequels, and they don't look the same. They're much older. They're much older. They probably don't even want to be there themselves. They're just here for a quick payday, and it just doesn't look right. And I think it sometimes diminishes that character. You've got Mark Hamill in the new Star Wars films, and he literally sounds like he's on death's door. I failed you, Ben. Oh, I failed you. You are a Jedi. Which probably brings me on to one of the worst sins ever, the fact that Emperor Palpatine was back in The Rise of Skywalker despite the fact there's no care towards the Star Wars name and the reputation of Star Wars. And all these other films do it, a lot of films do it. There's no real genuine care about the reputation of these franchises. They just want to make money. We're just getting so many soulless films now as well. I think it's one of the worst periods in movie history, because all we're getting right now is pointless sequels to films that don't deserve a sequel or don't warrant one. They're just made for the sole purpose of making money. I know all movies throughout time have, every writer, director, whatever, has the purpose of making money for a film. That's the sole purpose of making a film, is because they make a lot of money from it. But it felt back in the day that they actually at least wanted to please the audience and they actually wanted to make a good quality movie. Right now, it doesn't feel like there's any care about making a good quality movie. It's almost like they know they can get audiences in through the title of the film alone. Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Spider-Man, The Avengers, whatever it might be, Terminator, it's almost like they know that audiences are going to come and watch it despite how bad it might be, because, they grew up watching Terminator, they grew up watching Star Wars, they grew up watching Jurassic Park. So the name of the film alone entices audiences to watch it, and then they see the trailer and it's like, oh, nostalgia, oh, remember all those sound effects, I remember that character, I remember this character, and it's like, when you get there and you're actually watching it, it's like, this is terrible. So many films did it back in the day as well, though. I'm not just talking about this era, Halloween, there was loads of Halloween films. I think there's about 7. Friday the 13th, there's about 9 of them. God, that's a lot. Even Jaws, a film about a killer shark, they made 4 of them. The last one was called Jaws Revenge. How can a shark take revenge? I mean, that doesn't make any sense, does it? It's Jaws Revenge. It's not the same shark from the first one, for a start, or the second one, or the third one. So what's going on? I almost forgot to mention another good example with that was Halloween, the modern Halloween sequels. Obviously, they made 3 of them, in which Michael Myers dies once more. Spoilers. Should have said that before. He doesn't die. I made that up. Spoilers. But in the most recent 3 Halloween films, you've got Jamie Lee Curtis back in it, who played Laurie Strode in the original 1978 classic of Halloween. But Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode, was thrown off a hospital roof in Halloween Resurrection, and now she's back in it. And we know why she's back in it. For the simple fact that you can't have a Halloween film without her, so it's just about nostalgia again. It's just about reminding us of what once was. No matter what the cost, no matter if it makes sense or not. They didn't even try and explain why she was back in it. They didn't even explain how she got back in it. She died. Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode, simply died and she's back in it. How does that work? How does that even happen? You can't kill off a character and then pretend that she didn't die and not explain it. It's just stupid. They're basically saying that Halloween, the original, happened, the second one happened, and the rest didn't happen. It's like I mentioned in my first video, the big mistakes in modern day horror films, laziness, the fact that, they were using cheap jump scares to kind of, replace what real horror is and what real tension and atmosphere is. I feel this day and age, nostalgia has almost replaced everything else. And I know it sounds like I'm being a bit of a bore in my opinion, but, I'm seeing it more and more now. Laziness and just the constant niggle in the back of my mind just tells me that these movies are being made purely for financial gain, and they don't care about the audience. They don't care about the quality of the film. They don't care about the franchise itself. They don't care about the reputation of the franchise. Guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I really would. Is nostalgia replacing what could be good quality films? Are we getting sequel after sequel for the simple fact that these movie writers and so on, these movie companies just are interested more in making money than satisfying the audience? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video though, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this, of course, as well in the comments below. Remember to subscribe to this channel as well. And of course, I will be back very shortly with another interesting video. At least I hope so. Guys, I will see you soon.